Hey friends, hey, hi, hello. So I thought I would film an intro for today's video. This is an old-fashioned full day of eating. The only thing you don't see is my coffee, and I promise I'll make it for you tomorrow. Now I'm not doing keto. I'm just trying to stay as low carb as possible. I'm not counting calories. I'm not doing any of that because I feel like that would be setting myself up for failure because I am just not, especially right now. The wound is too raw. So yeah, it's been a rough day. I've been dealing with a lot of guilt, and I basically sat here and poured my heart out to you guys, and then I was like, you know what, I should just film a video because I've been meaning to film a video about this for years and years and years, to talk about grief and to talk about, guilt. Grief and guilt, man, they're rough, especially when you're someone who has chronic pain or chronic illness or disabled. Like, oh, it's rough. So anyway, so yeah, that video will be coming. I can't today. I just can't today. I am just in the wrong headspace. Oh, you can see I'm stressed because this eye is going, and it hasn't done that in months. So yeah, so anyway, this is what we're doing today. It's going to be hot the rest of the week, like almost in the 90s. So I'm using the oven tonight, and then we'll have leftovers or something that, can do stovetop the rest of the week. I have leftovers Salisbury meatballs that I made last week. Keto Salisbury meatballs. If you go on Pinterest and search that, I'm sure all of them are good. I have a pecan pie mousse. That's basically a fat bomb. Oh, so good. And then I planned a 7-layer dip. They call it taco casserole, but I'm like, that's a 7-layer dip with some pork rinds. And then what else? I'm going to make keto blueberry muffins for us to have. So, and tonight I'm making, they call it a meatball casserole, but it's basically meatball lasagna without any noodles. And I have some of the palmini noodles. Maybe I'll do half of it with that and half of it without. I don't know. And I didn't make my meatballs. Don't come at me. Don't forget, not everybody is able-bodied. Don't be ableist in my comments. Don't be ableist in my comments. So yeah, anyway, today is just going to be a day to just allow myself to feel whatever the fuck this is, because this is a whole other feeling. I can't even put a word to it. There's some guilt, and that's mostly due to Rob's recent blood work and some things, but again, we'll talk about that in a video. I'm gonna sit down and kind of make an outline of what I want to talk about. Maybe I'll get a chance to film that tomorrow. I don't know. So yeah, so full day of eating. This will probably be Monday, Tuesday's full day of eating. I'll post it on Wednesday. Then I'll do Thursday, Friday, post it on Saturday, et cetera, et cetera. And we'll just go that way. Every 2 days, I'll post what I'm eating, and we'll see how we go. So yeah, anyway, that's it. I got the results of my CT scan. It confirmed CVID. It said predominant abnormalities in the B cells. And then I got chronic sinusitis, which we already knew. I literally was having sinus issues when I went and had that CT scan. I had the worst sinus headache yesterday. And I told him, I was like, right here is always swollen when I have a sinus headache. And it looks like my sinuses have some anatomy issues. I don't know what that's going to mean. I haven't heard from him. But yeah, so it's been a rough couple of days. And I don't know, it has put me in a funky funk. So yeah, so anyway, that's it. I will show you how I make my coffee tomorrow. I just forgot to completely film it. I'm really struggling with, I'm really struggling with this today. So my blood sugar started at 220. I meant to put a sensor on after the shower, but I put on body oil, and then I was like, shoot, I need to do a sensor. And I was like, and I'll just wait till tonight. So I'll put one on before I go to bed. And which is easier because you have to give it time to warm up and blah, 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 blah. In the first couple of days, the readings aren't really accurate anyway. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, that's it. So thank you so much for joining me. Let's see. Breakfast. I ate 3 meals today. I'm eating 3 meals today, I should say. I didn't eat much yesterday, like after like 11. And so I woke up hungry today. And I'm normally almost hungry when I'm doing like a carb detox or whatever you want to call it. So yeah. So leave your questions if you have any. I'll film an update or a video later in the week. I can't do it today. It'll just be a video of me crying all day, and I don't think you guys want to see that. Good morning, friends. It's 9:30 on Monday, October the 21st. I'm finally having a coffee. This is my cold brew with a little touch of heavy whipping cream and some cold foam, and I'll share with you how to make this tomorrow. I forgot to set up the camera to do it today, so this is what I'm having to begin my day. All right, friends, it's just about noon. I cooked up one of those Holmes, I think it's jalapeno smoked sausage. I don't know. I'm gonna have probably half of this. I'm just gonna basically eat until I'm full, and then I'll make some dinner tonight. I didn't eat last night, so I'm starving today, and the coffee, I didn't put any fat in it other than the cream, so I'm pretty hungry. So anyway, this is what I'm having for lunch. All right, friends, here is the finished product. I gave Rob the crunchy bits, but I mean, just make your favorite lasagna recipe and use meatballs and no noodles. I ended up not using the palm noodles, but yeah. The recipe called for 8 ounces of ricotta, but Rob couldn't find that, so I used the whole 16 ounces. We'll see, but yeah. It's basically lasagna with no noodles, and that's okay. We'll give it a go. Okay, bye for now. All right, everyone, it's 7:30. I didn't eat much of that meatball bake. I didn't like it. I'm like, it's just lasagna. It's just lasagna. I don't know if it was the meatballs. You guys know how my sense of taste has been. That was one of the things that was commented on my CT scan. And then, of course, the Wegovy. Anyway, this is the pecan pie mousse. And it's basically mascarpone, heavy whipping cream, golden monk fruit or golden erythritol, and then pecans. And it is so flipping good. So good. I had just a couple of bites of it because it's really rich and thick, as you can see, but it's really good. Even Rob likes it, and he's not someone who likes this. Now, the first time I made it, I put way too much heavy cream in it. So I was like, oh, let me put it in the freezer to see if it will freeze up or whatever, like harden up or come together. And it tasted just like Divinity. So the next time I make it, I may do that and then go ahead and throw it in the freezer and just eat bites off of it. Oh, so good. So anyway, that's it for the day. I'm going to have like 3 or 4 bites of this, and then I'm going to go get in bed because I am tired. So I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Hello, friends. It's bright enough right now that I don't have to turn on the light, and that is so helpful. It is Tuesday, October 22nd, 11:30. So I think I shared with you, no, I did share with you my coffee. So I literally use 1 pump of syrup in the frother, and it's a little under half a cup of Fairlife if you stay right at the minimum line in that frother. A half a cup of Fairlife, that 2% Fairlife has 6 carbs. 1 cup of Fairlife, the 2% Fairlife has 6 carbs, not half a cup. I misspoke, which is not anything new. So less than half a cup, you're looking at like a little over 2 carbs maybe. So at the end of the day, you have to decide what's best for you. But here's the thing. When you froth heavy cream, you get whipping cream. And when you froth a low-fat milk, you get that nice, thin, foamy texture that you get for $1.45 at Starbucks. So at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you. Again, I am not doing any sort of keto or anything like that. I'm just trying to stay as low carb as possible. And that's what we're doing. So I do that. I do a little bit of heavy cream, just enough to kind of take the bite off of it because I don't like the taste of strong coffee like that. I'm using the Twix coffee grounds. I think I mentioned that yesterday. They're good, but I prefer unflavored so I can make my own. And I used about 1.5 pumps, maybe 2 pumps of the skinny syrup peanut butter. It goes really good with that Twix coffee, and it does taste like a Twix bar. I'm not kidding. And then I used a little bit of the skinny syrup caramel sauce that you can get at Walmart, where the ice cream stuff is. I'm just home today. I was in such a funk yesterday. I didn't get anything done other than designing some t-shirts. So I may be selling t-shirts for the holidays. If you didn't know me, we are obsessed with Christmas tree cakes. Like, we've already bought 6 boxes in there in the freezer, and that'll last us through Christmas. But I've always loved them since I was a kid. In fact, I'm the one that got robbed on them. And the only difference between them and the zebra cake is that little green crystal on top. But there's something about those big Christmas tree cakes that are just good. I prefer the big ones. Yes, we've seen that the donuts exist, but we didn't find any. And again, these will last us. Like, I have a pumpkin roll in there that'll last us through December too. It's a once in a while thing. But I found some really cute designs that I think I'm going to offer t-shirts. Not all the time, but maybe like a little while. So I ordered a sample yesterday of the 4X. And that's the thing. Some of them go up to 5X, which I think is fantastic. So if I like them, then that might be something that you see in the next couple of weeks with no expectation to buy. And in fact, they had a 5X, they wanted to charge $30. And I'm like, no. We're not charging $32 for a t-shirt. So I think I was able to bump them down to I think the lowest I could go was like 28 for a 4X or 5X. And that's cheaper than what you can get at Torrid. So I think that's a pretty good deal. So we'll see. I'm not going to share the designs yet because we'll see. We'll see how we do. What else? So woke up, my blood sugar was 167. My Dexcom was showing 200. So I calibrated it. I forgot to look before I turned on the camera. Oh, I'm going to do my skincare. So the goal for today is to clean up this craft room. It is bad. It is real bad. And I'm aggravated because I'd gotten it to a point where I felt like I could film a craft room tour if I just moved a couple of things. And then construction happened and I got behind and just blah, 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 blah. So I need to do that. That's what I'm going to do today, is clean up and then see if I have enough energy to film a couple of videos. I need to go tomorrow and get our 60,000 mile service. We bought our car in March of 2016. We just hit 60,000 miles. because it was my commuter car and we only own one car. So it was my commuter car. And then for a while after I was home, there was a bus station nearby. So Rob caught the bus to get to the train. And now since he works from home, neither of us drive it except on the weekends or take me to my 10 million doctor's appointments. He took a month off. He took off a week off next week because we're getting, because I have 2 appointments that week and one of them is in Durant. So yeah, so anyway, that's it. Dinner, he's going to have the leftovers of that. I didn't like that. And again, take it with a grain of salt. I mean, literally, it is just what you make lasagna from. But I think my problem was, number one, I used 16 ounces of ricotta instead of just like 8, but Rob couldn't find it. And I'm like, I'm not going to use this again. I didn't want to go waste. I should have used the ricotta and not added cream cheese. I think that was part of the problem. And then you guys know how I am about hamburger meat. Sometimes I like hamburger meat. Sometimes I do not like hamburger meat. And I don't know. I said we need to get the meatballs from Costco because they are Italian seasoned at least. And I used to love those as well. They're kind of carby, but they're good. And the last time I made homemade meatballs, I couldn't move my arms for 2 days. So it's like, okay, where do I need to rely on convenience foods and where can I do things from scratch? And yesterday, I used the Hunt's. Is it the Hunt's? We used the Hunt's spaghetti sauce. It's like $1.50 a can, and I know a lot of people use Rouse, and I get it, but I'm not paying $7 for spaghetti sauce, you guys. I'm just not going to do it. If I'm going to do that, I'm just going to make it at home and not add any sugar. So I'm not, yeah, no, you can't get me to spend $7. You just can't do it. So he's going to have that for leftovers this week. I considered making steaks tonight, but he doesn't eat on Wednesday nights because he bowls. And since we do... Okay, let me back up. We bought some steaks at Aldi that were on sale and they were grass-fed and no thank you. I don't know what it is about them. Give me the ones the prime ones or whatever. And yeah, they may have 90,000 other things wrong with them, but they just taste so much better. And so he's been eating those and I've been eating the regular ribeyes, but there's 2, so he'll have 1 of the grass-fed ribeyes and I'll have half of my steak. And so then the next day I finish the rest of it. And if he's not... Did you know we live right next door to a hospital that has a hello pad? Yeah. So anyway, so if I do steaks, I need to be able to do it back to back. And so yeah, so we'll do that Thursday night and have one Thursday, Friday. And then I don't think I'm going to make the layered taco dip because my pico de gallo is gross and my lettuce is too. And I hate that I wasted it, but that's on me. So I have this roll of hamburger meat that I may just go ahead and put back in the freezer for now. We have 5-pound chubs, but we have 5-pound chubs. And I asked him, I was like, are you ready for chili? And he said, no, because we're going to be in the 90s this week. And I said, are you ready for a bunch of lasagnas? And he said, no, plus we don't really have room. So I'm like, okay, I'll just throw this in the freezer for now. I need to make the blueberry muffins. Misty, you're supposed to put that shit out before you went to bed. I went to bed early last night. I didn't go to sleep early, but I went to bed early because I've had this sinus headache now for 2 days. And it gets worse as the day goes on. So I got in bed and took some I take severe sinus headache meds. I think the ones I get are the fake ones. But so I take those. They're supposed to be non-drowsy. They knock me out. So I take them right before bed. And I woke up okay this morning, but I can already start to feel my sinuses like fill back up and I'm starting to get a headache. Or the headache is getting stronger, I should say, because it never really went away. But yeah, so what am I eating for dinner? That was the whole point of this conversation. I have some leftover, those Salisbury meatballs. It's in a sauce with shallot and garlic and mushrooms. So hopefully it'll taste good. Maybe I'll have that for lunch and then plan on having one of those pepperoni cheesy bread things that I've been making. That's basically a low carb tortilla, garlic butter, pepperoni, and mozzarella. I mean, it's really that, and I'll show you that later. So yeah, not bad for day 2. I feel so much better. Like yesterday, I had filmed and talked about a whole bunch of stuff, and I said I was going to do it in a video, and I may do that, end up doing that tomorrow or Thursday, but I feel a little bit better today. One of the things I was really dealing with is that Rob's blood pressure and cholesterol went up, and then I was concerned because he's like, Misty, I'm 60, I can't do everything. He didn't say it like that. He wasn't telling me that I needed to step up or whatever. He was just saying, you know, I'm just tired. I can't do everything anymore. He was frustrated with himself because he's older or whatever. And so yesterday I sat down in a things I can do list. And maybe I mentioned this in yesterday's intro. I don't remember. So I sat him down. I was like, okay, these are the things I can do in each of these areas. Are you going to be okay with me doing these? Or would you rather me find, you know, budget for us to have a maid come in and deep clean once a month? And he said, I would rather you have a maid come in and deep clean once a month. And I said, okay. He said, the only way that you could help me is if you load the dishwasher. And I said, okay, that's fine. So I can load like the top 2 racks. I can't do the bottom because I can't bend over very well. So I told him I would do that. And then I need to sit down and write out our budget to make sure that we can budget for, he said not until after the new year, because he'll have a week off in November. He'll actually have almost 2 weeks off in November with the Thanksgiving holiday. He will have 2 weeks off in December. He'll have a couple of weeks off in January. So the next 3 months, he's going to have a couple of weeks. And then February is when busy season starts, and that's when he has the hardest time, you know, finding time to clean. So I feel a little bit better talking about that. I also talked to him about the whole cholesterol and stuff. He's like, it's not your fault. He's like, I'm a grown man. I can make the choices I need to. And I didn't. And I was like, okay. I was like, but we are done. We've got to get this done for both of our sakes. So yeah. Okay. So that's what an intro for today. 11 minutes long. So I am going to go try to get some shit done. I may go ahead and eat. I am hungry coming off a carb. I don't want to call it a carb bender because I wasn't binging. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I'm eating. I didn't binge at all. And I went into it with just a couple of things that were carby, tater tot casserole and the hamburger helper. And so I don't feel like I was on a carb bender or whatever I call them. I just feel like it's time for me to get back on plan. And it takes a couple of days for me not to be so hungry when we do that. So I am hungry now. And again, I forgot to use it. Okay, so I have no concept of time. I have an appointment on the 30th. I thought tomorrow was my appointment. So I haven't been doing the MCT oil because the MCT oil could possibly make things. Whew. So I haven't been using it, and I really probably should try it to see how I do with it. So I haven't been putting, like I have a fat, but I need to figure out a protein or something to go with it to help me feel a little bit fuller, because normally I made that coffee at 9:15, 9:30. It's almost noon. Normally I can go to like 2:30 if I'm doing a bulletproof coffee. So yeah, I think I just need to add a bit more fat. So yeah, that's it. I also need to sit down and plan my week. I've done that the last couple of weeks, and that has helped me feel a bit more centered. So we're going to do that. So yeah. That's it. I will say goodbye to you tonight because this video will go up on Wednesday, and we'll talk about what my blood sugar is doing and all of that at dinner. So yeah, doing okay. Getting shit done. Taking names. All of the things. Bye. Hi friends, it's 3 o'clock and I am finally eating. So I didn't eat earlier when I said I was going to. I waited. Here are the Salisbury meatballs I talked about. Now these are the same meatballs that we ate last night. So I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm going to eat as much of it as I can. So I will try to remember to link that recipe down below. But if you just go to Pinterest and search keto Salisbury meatballs, it'll pop right up. So this is what I'm eating right now. If I can't eat much of this or I'm still hungry afterwards, I'll have some of that pecan pie mousse. Like I said, it's basically a fat bomb, but this is what I'm having right now. So I ate the meatballs. They were actually pretty good, but I'm still starving. So I'm gonna have one of these. These are not my favorite, but this is the second flavor that I like. Here are the macros. At the end of the day, you have to pick what works best in your own way of eating. These are good, not very carby, don't really bother my blood sugar. So this is what I'm gonna have as part of my meal. And they're not giant. Here's a look at how big it is compared to a teaspoon. So this is just a normal little spoon that you would have in your silverware drawer. So they're not very big. They're delicious. All right, friends, I am starving Marvin. It is 7:30. I'm gonna make one of those garlic pizza things I told you about. So this is the wrap I've been using. These are the Extreme Wellness from Olay. You can get them at Walmart. They are 7 net carbs, but they have a ton of fiber and 6 grams of protein. So I cut it in half as best as I could. I'm gonna put on some pepperoni. I made a huge, this is like 2 sticks. So what is that, a cup of garlic butter. So it's like 2 sticks of butter and like a whole head of garlic. And then mozzarella cheese. Put that on one, top it with the other, put that on the other, and then throw it in the air fryer, 350 for 9 minutes. It comes out perfect every time. It's delicious and it's actually really filling. So I will share with you when I get to that part. Okay, here's what we're dealing with. So the top looks exactly like the bottom, butter, cheese, and then pepperoni on top. And again, this is going in the air fryer, 350 for 9 minutes. Okay, here you go. Looks good. I'm gonna cut it into triangles and eat it. Rob said it smells good. So yeah, so this is a quick little kind of cheesy bread. And you can leave the pepperoni off and have garlic cheese bread. We did that before and it was delicious. So yeah, this is the last thing I'm eating today, I promise. Okay, bye.